Stephen, it's great to see you. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
about the game in a moment, but let's touch on the injuries. You suffered 3 of them today, well 4 if you include Balogun. What's the early prognosis in the dressing room?
Well, I'll try and go through them. Leon felt a bit of tightness in the warm-up, so we obviously didn't want to take a risk on that. Phil was ready to come in. I thought he'd done an outstanding job again. Morelos has got a gash in his knee, but it's a deep one. But it's probably the best scenario we could have hoped for, because from the side I'm thinking, you know, is it a cartilage or an injury that could keep him out for a long time? So it's just a gash. He might be available for Thursday. Knowing Alfredo, he'll want to be available. Ryan Jack's got a calf issue. We obviously have to wait to see what the scan shows on that. Was there anyone else? I think he was
Barker.
I think Barker's was very clear. It's a hamstring injury, so I think he'll be missing for certainly a few weeks. That's normally the case.
Okay, and what did you see, if any, of the tackle on Morelos?
Well, I only obviously got a good view at it now after the game. There's obviously a follow-through there. Now, I don't want to stand here and say that a kid should be sent off. Of course I don't. But what would be interesting if it was the other way around, what the decision would have been.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a similar Ryan Jack. I think I remember against Aberdeen a similar outcome with him being sent off in that one. But there was a few tasty tackles in that one. I think you knew it was going to be the case in this fixture. But what did you make of the overall performance in the 4-0 win?
I think for us, as you say, a lot of things went against us today in terms of injuries. We had to adapt. I've got to give the players a lot of credit. You know, we had to change our shape. Once we went 2-0, I thought there's no reason to stay 4-2-3-1 and be gung-ho. So I wanted to be safe, certainly till half-time. And then we went back to our normal shape that we used a lot last year. And Dundee were giving us the ball back in some good areas. I think 4 flat at Dundee, we could have went on and got a few more goals. I think we were lucky to keep the record. You know, they've hit the bar, and they've had a good shot there at the near post. I thought Dundee stayed at it. I think they were desperate to score that goal and take the record, so you've got to give them credit as well.
Stevie, we said there, and you've already touched on it, we said ourselves it could have been 5, 6, 7, easy. Is that your frustration then? Because after the Hamilton game you said the same thing, the amount of chances, some of the football you played today was beautiful and probably deserved a goal.
I think not just on today. I think 4-0's okay. Yeah, we could have scored a few more, so I don't want to be critical today, but I think if you look at us from the beginning of the season till now, if there is one aspect where we can improve, it's to be more clinical, more ruthless. What I would say is we're still waiting for Itten to get up to speed. You know, he's had an injury setback. Kamara Roof hadn't played much before he come in. Alfredo's had his situation. So we're still waiting for our number 9s to really get 100% sharp. When they do.
Does it please you? Because we were talking about they all seem different types. Itten, Roof, Defoe coming back as well from injury, Morelos.
Yeah, well, I think what we've tried to do is learn from where we've gone wrong in the past. Maybe we didn't have enough tools in the final third and enough people lacking, to change it. And you know, maybe we haven't had enough behind us when we've needed it at important times in games. But what will be interesting is if we can keep them all in the door. And if we can get them all up to speed, it'll be interesting.
Stevie, though, the boys must be over the moon with obviously 7 clean sheets. Must be happy.
Yeah, I'm pleased for them. I think they're getting rewarded for all the hard work. We've done a lot of organisation work and our distances and our sliding in pre-season. It was nice to have a pre-season where you had that time to work on your shape out of possession. So. Of course the staff have done ever so well working with them, but the players have actually gone out there and we've got a mentality and an attitude about us where we want to keep the ball out the net, and I think John's played a big part in that, to be fair to him.
He's been good, hasn't he?
He's been very good.
A lot was been spoken about these two holding midfielders. I know we maybe discussed it a wee bit the last time you came on after the game. That must really please you, though, the extra security to allow those two boys. I mean, we were talking about Tavernier's stats before the game are ridiculous.
It's amazing.
1-5 for goals.
As a full-back, it's amazing.
But his deliveries in the high area, Barisic's quality into the box is outstanding. So that must really please you with the two holding midfielders that just allows those guys to get into good areas. Yeah,
I mean, it's a massive part how we play. You know, we want the full-backs to be really aggressive, really on the front foot. We want them to almost play like wing-backs, but you can't play with attacking midfielders if that's the case. You need the balance behind the ball. If it turns over, you need to have a good shape about it. I thought it was Tav's strongest performance of the season today. I know it was his 250th game. His goals and his assists speak for themselves. And we know what he gives us on a daily basis. He's always available. I think someone told me a stat. He's only missed 3-4 training sessions since he's been at the club.
And something like 17 games, I think, as well, within that 250 in and around it. He's such a consistent performer for you.
He is, and I just hope now that he can go and reward his service that he's given to the club come the end of the season. You know, be in there when the prizes get given out, because that's what he'll be remembered for.
Sorry, but just one more thing on Kamara. He came on today. I believe that during the week against Republic of Ireland he was outstanding. you must be pleased. And just from a personal point of view, Steve, and having worked with him, I think he's got so much more to offer. Now, he's not going to turn into a Stevie Gerrard and start bombing and knocking goals into 30 yards, but I think he's got so much to offer as well, hasn't he?
I mean, he's a different type, and I'm not saying it because you're standing with me, but I've said it before. The previous coaches that have worked with Glen at Arsenal and when he's moved on have done a fantastic job. He's been schooled right. I think he fits into our system like a glove. He could have started today, without a shadow of a doubt. He's certainly pushing. I thought he was very good when he come on. And over the course of the season, Glen Kamara is going to get many appearances.
Yeah, a wee bit more advanced today. Was that?
Yeah, I think that's confidence maybe from the midweek. Look, even if we play a 2 at the right time, we don't mind one going to join in, whether that be Arfield, Jack or Kamara. But for me, Glen can do anything out there. He's so comfortable as a 6, in a 3, in a 2. He's so intelligent. He takes the message, and as I say, he's pushing to be in the 11 for sure.
And I know, Stephen, just a final point, that you're still keen to add another face or two perhaps to your squad. Will these injuries accelerate any of that, or will it still continue in the path you were going to take anyway?
Look, I've made it, I can't be any more clear with Ross and the board in terms of what we need. They know that. I don't think I have to go public and say that, but yes, we certainly do. In the engine room we need one at least to help us over the course. We know we're expected again to qualify in Europe and play every Thursday, every Sunday. You can't do that unless you've got the right numbers, and we're one short in midfield.